Hey everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. You know, more celebrities are actually finding themselves in court, and the reasons behind many of these cases are they're pretty shocking. How do we make sense out of it all? Well, joining us now to talk about everything from Diddy, Meg Thee Stallion, and Tory Lanez is former public defender and legal expert Michael Riley, Esquire. Michael, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me, Mitch. It's great to be here.
We're glad to have you here. It seems that, you know, if you're a celebrity, all eyes are on you. But it just seems weird because maybe they feel like they're a different echelon of society. They get in trouble, and when they do, they get in really big trouble. And I think what everybody has been talking about and what we're really referring to is what's been going on with P. Diddy. Can you give us the latest of what's going on in this case? Because there are so many tentacles to it.
I think you said it right, Mitch. Big trouble. P. Diddy's in a lot of trouble. So what we know so far is there's about 120 civil lawsuits that are people accusing P. Diddy of various acts over a large span of time. Men, women, minors, adults, all sorts of problems. We also know about the federal indictment. We have a trial date coming up. So Diddy's got a lot of problems going on right now.
Do you think that the accusers are actually going to be named in all this? Because I imagine that's why, because we've heard that this has been happening for a while, but nobody wanted to come forward. Do you think they'll actually be named?
At some point, they're going to have to be named. If this criminal case goes to trial, the government's going to have to reveal the identities of these people. I know Diddy's lawyers are currently asking the court to force the prosecutors to reveal those names. They need those names in order to prepare the defense. They need to be able to find out who they are, do a little homework on these people, background checks. So eventually, I think we're going to start to see these names come out.
And, you know, there's been talk, and again, this is pure speculation, that some of them might be paid off or maybe they might lose deals out of all of this. Will the prosecution or even the judge look at that saying, hey, this is, well, first off, is that against the law for them not to come in and accuse them and get a payoff, or would that be obstructing justice?
Well, I mean, if we talk just in terms of a civil case, if there's an accusation and then a payoff, another word for a payoff is a settlement. And we see that happen all the time with lawsuits. With the Cassie case, there was an out-of-court settlement, undisclosed amount. So that's perfectly legal. If somebody brings a claim and there's an agreement to settle it outside of court, call it a payoff, call it a settlement, but it is what it is.
Okay, and again, that's in the civil case. And you think that Diddy will actually bond out before this case even starts?
So he doesn't even have the option right now. Obviously, Diddy is a guy that we know has, for all intents and purposes, unlimited resources. So if bonding out was an option for him, I think we would have seen it already. He was ordered detained by a federal magistrate. The district court upheld that decision. And now his lawyers are appealing to the circuit court, asking a judge to come up with some set of circumstances, some set of conditions to allow him to be released. But so far, judges aren't buying.
Yeah, and we're in that society of watching, you know, Law and Order, and we think things are going to happen really fast. When in reality, that's not the case. I'm going to move on now to Megan Thee Stallion. Could the latest revelation that Megan actually lied about her sexual relationship with Tory Lanez actually affect any appeal in his case?
In my opinion, Mitch, I don't think so. I understand she's come out and admitted that she lied to Gayle King about the nature of her relationship with Tory Lanez. It doesn't really go to the substance of the allegations that Tory was put on trial for. Certainly, if she came forward and said she lied about that, she lied about who shot her or something like that, I think that could have an impact. But just another lie about the nature of the relationship, I think it's very unlikely that a reviewing court would reverse the case or order a new trial or anything like that.
Yeah, it seems like because it would be just speculative or, you know, again, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but they could say, well, I viewed the relationship as this, and maybe it might actually have been something else. So that does make a lot of sense. Do you think Tory Lanez actually has a chance at a new trial because of his defense attorney's relationship with Roc Nation? That's the management team, by the way, that handles Meg Thee Stallion.
I hate to be a cynic, Mitch, but I don't think so. I think Tory Lanez is a guy who has a lot of resources. He could fund a legal team to explore every possible avenue of relief for him, right? This is a guy who was sentenced to 10 years, certainly wants to come home. He's got the resources to have his lawyers out there, leaving no stone unturned, and they're going to explore this. But from what I can tell, Mitch, that there wasn't even a relationship between Sean Holly and Rock Entertainment that would create a conflict of interest.
That's interesting. Let's talk about this as a whole. We always see what most people, they look back, oh, celebrities. Very rarely do we see them actually spend a lot of hard time. And a lot of people say just what you said, they have the resources, they have a lot of money. When this happens, when a case like this or criminal case, because they are able to throw a lot of money on it, does it change case law? Meaning that, like, say somebody that doesn't have the resources, could they refer to it like this happened in the P. Diddy case or that sort of thing and use that as pretty much a defense?
So the availability of resources isn't going to change the law, but it's going to look at it like you're going into a fight that much more armored. You're going into a war with that many more tanks, planes, aircraft carriers. You have a lot more to work with, so you can challenge every single aspect. It gives you an upper hand, that's for sure. But the law is the law, and courts are bound by precedent. They're bound by the laws that were set before, and no amount of money is just going to change the law.
That's a good point. All right, let's go back to the Diddy case here. Let's talk about, do you think there's going to be some big names, or maybe are some names that might be popping up in this case that we might have some surprises?
It's certainly within the realm of possibility. I mean, it's been floated out there that there are celebrities that were allegedly involved in these freak-offs, as they call them. And so we might see, as time goes on, some familiar names floating to the surface that were allegedly involved. And who knows if there's talk that these things were recorded. So I think there's a lot yet to be seen with the Diddy case.
I think you're absolutely right. If you start to see a mass exodus of celebrities going out of the country, maybe that might be a heads up. Who knows? Man, I really appreciate you joining us. Very insightful stuff. We'd love to have you back for more to find out what else develops on this. Now, if you want to find out more on these cases and, of course, anything else on the show, you can head to our website. It's dailyflashshow.com. Michael, thanks so much for joining us. We'll have more right after this.